Hello and welcome. It is the second day of May 2021. My name is Derek. Currently 2:07 p.m. Eastern Time. As of this moment, I'm recording the video. All bets, trades, and amongst the like. Yeah, it's your own risk, your own reward, and that's the way the game is. As far as well, the market doesn't care if you win or lose, and it's only price pays within these markets. That's just how it goes. Currently, against Bitcoin. DGB in at 288 Satoshi. We'll take a look at DGB and DOGE, Bitcoin, and I want to talk about just money management, currency management, but yeah, money management, investing, diversification, and all that kind of deal when I'm finished within the three markets. Amongst the daily term for DGB priced against BTC, had a very, very beautiful run. And when we go back to these lows in here, you establish this high. And so many times we've had these moves that have just failed. It's to a degree even this one, but you make this high and then you don't make a higher low here. You make this high and you're not making higher lows. And then you just get further downtrend. So when you make the rallies, when you can see that it's able to hold the move, and we were seeing it for a while in here. I mean, what a fantastic move and ride this was in 2020 from basically the start of the spring, but it concluded when the fall time came for half a year. And then yada, 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 just keep going down. But we're doing it again, make this high, but making the higher low. And then retracement amongst, obviously majorly successful as we managed to get above this high in here. And fantastic move. And since then, establishing highs a couple times over. It went here, then it reestablished it. Beautiful correctionary move within the 18. And now I'm seeing on the current play, exitation amongst the 18 average of highs. Within the second day of doing so, as it was even third or whatever, yesterday's session price action managed to really match, piercing less of the previous highs, going up to 307, with previous highs coming in at 311. So basically a percent, a little more off, pretty much exact number. But we can see just via looking at the daily that it came back down to at least, because we can see today's intraday low at 257, and it's starting to rally back. So now big retracement from this high and this low. To me, this seems very, very likely have a good chance of having a big move. And when we look at the play here, it started, well, the bottom was 4 a.m. It got above the 18 average of highs at 7, but the big 4.78% hour was at 8 a.m. Clear break amongst above the 18, making it to the lower end of the double hit resistance area, and a very high retracement, pretty much around 61.8%. Oh, let's just take a look at this. What's the exact number? It's got to be right around. This has got to be 61.8 near the 288 high, probably around 280 or something. And it's telling me now that's going to break. It's just going to go off huge. Let me just calculate. I haven't seen what the numbers are yet, but just by looking at it, I can tell that's pretty much it. 307 divided by 255 to the root of 0.618, multiply the low. So let's just put the numbers in and see what comes up. Oh, 274. How does, or no, 286. Even a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be. Right at the number, though. Right at it. It pierced extra by just 2 points. I mean, hey, it does it, it does it. But yeah, now what's telling me is that the likelihood that this selling that occurred just yesterday from its move, its correctionary higher low move, where it successfully was pretty much able to come back to where it came from on these highs, and it didn't even need to. It was close to coming back to this resistance level of 250 to 243, which would suck if that's where you had your buy order in. I wasn't playing any of that, but I could see how it would screw me over, because most likely I'd put my buy order at 251, 252, or if I wanted a little deeper, around 241. But either way, it looks to me as if this thing looks ready to go for a good gain. And DOGE against Bitcoin. I mean, before all of the upper move shenanigans, this price was like 16 Satoshi. It rallied up to 24. It went from 60, and then it had support here at 26. Currently at 683, 681. So this rally went up to like 200 and change. Then, oh my goodness, look at all this grinding at around 100. from like February, mid-February, and it left it at like into April. Nice little excitation here on April 11, 12. But what an excitation, going from like, yeah, a little over 100 to like over 7, so a 7x move, maybe even 8, depending on how you want to look at it. And then, like 4 days or 3 days after this high, it hits this low of like 300. So we've had already a good markets can correct one of two ways, either through price or through time. That's pretty much a price correction. Like wow, like 4 days of losing well more than half your value, and then to pretty much get it all back. Let's do more Fibonacci for fun. 775 divided by 286. Okay, so if it can hold and stay above 530 for a significant period of time, that would tell me that the selling is a failed move. Price action is above that right now. But I'm going to even do Fibonacci in two different ways. One, I'm going to even increase the low because, yeah, I mean it's that's I see more fundamental support around this 469 number. Yeah, you can. We get the breakout lows here. You can almost even say 442. 403. I mean, this is where you had a lot of price action. 412. I'm going to take a look at that area more clearly. Yeah, 400, 380. I really can't go higher than 400. I think I should go 380, but don't know why a different one loaded, but either way. This says 61.8 at 590. 590 to 600 basically looks to be the key, maybe a more key number. And of course, at 600 and change, it's been way above that. And then 573 resistance there. I mean, there's a 590 resistance point here from the entire run on April the 28th. Exitation on that came May the 1st, which was yesterday. Well, to me, that tells me the likelihood of the selling that occurred from April 20th through that of April the 22nd, 2 to 3 day run, wow, is a failed move. The likelihood has become up to $1. Now, I did DOGE against, I didn't make a video on this, but I calculated this for myself yesterday. I'm not going to go through the calculations over again. I'll explain to you, though, how I calculate it. Upside is $1. I took high, and then, which levels did I take? I really think it's this move here. From this high to this low, I took high divided by 61.8% of the correction going down. So first I took high, I'll show it again. Let's see if I get $1 again. First thing I did is I took high and the low for this move. So I got a high here, I got 44 cents. And I got a low of like 15.5 it looks like. So let's go. So I would do 400 divided by 223 to the up exponent. And I think it comes to $1, which would be 1,000 in this case. Okay, that's not the one that I did. So intermediate term number would be 57 cents. Did I do the big run? I probably could. I probably would. I mean, yeah, if I'm doing long-term trading, why wouldn't have I? The question is, which breakout low would I use? I mean, big support here at the. Or you could even do this. Maybe I did this low here. This one makes a lot of sense too. So I would go from low to high to whatever the correction happens to be. So we got like 4.1, 4.2 cents, 4.4 even. So that would be 102. I just go 100, so that's 4 to the power of 1.618 multiply 100, or $1, or one. Um, yeah, 942, which would be 94.2 cents. And then the Pierce Extra pretty much says $1. And $1 is a psychological number as well. I mean, I'm surprised it's even as high as it is now. But the market's going to do what the market's going to do. And as long as people are very aggressively still okay at buying at these prices, and even in masses to the consensus, they still don't want to sell or sell that much at all, which has been the case thus far, then the price will only continue to go higher. Extremely way overextended. It's going to have a decent pullback no matter what, even if it has already topped. It's already done major damage, but it looks like more damage can be done. And when you think about it, I mean, I'm going to calculate Fibonacci from this low here too as well, just because I can. But this is just a small move to $1 if you think about it. I mean, it's just like, what, a 3x move from here? It's already done how many multiple x's over? How many times has it done 3x from even the last half year? So if I do Fibonacci from the breakout, which is like basically in the area of like a fifth of a cent, like that is just crazy. A fifth of a cent. Okay, let's do it. That's a 200x move. Just saying, already. So 400 divided by 15 to the exponent, because I want to know what a 61.8% down correction would be. And I'm using 38 too, because from the low of 2 to the high of 400, 38.2% of the way up would be 15. So on the way back, 400 working down, it would take 61.8% to get there. 400 divided by 15 to the root of, I mean, if it does this, holy, this would be just sick. I mean, you never know with these crypto markets. $3. And probably a break north of it, like 3 1/3, 3 1/2, 360. And 360 in here is like, okay. And that would be a good move, but that would be, I mean, it's always going to be that way because math, like Fibonacci is always going to work it out to be, well, it just does its thing. So I suppose like whatever 50ish whatever cents, like 54, 55 cents would be intermediate term resistance on the break of established resistance of 40, with a target level of $1, then going after that well over 3. And it would be crazy if that happened. Now, for myself, I'm going to go on with what I've been thinking, planning for quite some time, and that something can change it and nothing yet has. Which means I'm kind of hoping that this market can correct through time or not, or have microscopic gains if it has it. I've been extremely confident throughout the years that Bitcoin at some point, when it was trading at 4 figures or barely over 5, that we would have a day in time, and that time has now come, where it would break previous highs of 20,000. And conservatively, yeah, we're going to like 60, 70, 80, but we're probably going to go like 120, 125, 160, which means that when it breaks 100, I have no idea how this future is going to go for Bitcoin. And I'm going to really have no choice but to make sure that I distribute correctly, knowing that you don't know. But I always want, no matter how bearish or how much I think something might fail, like a Bitcoin, you still got to own it. In the sense of, just because, unless you think you're the biggest, smartest person in the world, come on, get real. Buy a little bit of everything if you have that opportunity to do so, just in case. Bit of this, bit of that, bit of here, because. So I'll probably, I never sell all of the cryptos, but at what stages do I feel it's a good time to have good distribution levels? And For me, that probably would be the interesting level area. Now this weekly time frame is just crazy. For if we look at just how the periods go, the market of course has been in an uptrend, and within this we hit highs pretty much on multiple times. February the 15th with a very good individual pullback. 2 periods later it tops, and then it comes down to make a higher low. And then 3 days later it microscopically makes a higher high, and the next period later it makes both a higher and a lower low. Why both? Because it was lower to the March 22nd week lows and higher to the February 22nd lows. And we've already seen now how it's just retracing, or from retracement from the high of the low, it's just dominating on, well, DOGE it was. Let me just take a look at these numbers here. 64,895. And the low, dividing it by that number, which is 47,004. And you just do 47,000 even, because I got a calculator, why not? It's got to get above 57,372 and hold and stay above it for a significant period of time. It's pretty much at that number now at 56.9. But as the setup goes, it's been down pretty much to the 18 average of lows. And now it's at the 18 average of highs. So it's got the opportunity, if it can get pretty much get above 60 for excitation amongst this, how the sideways move goes. To me, it's a very, very strong setup if something like this is to occur. Myself, I would like to see this range maybe between 44 and this high for another 9, 10, 12 periods. But given how the world situation is on a culture level and everything based on how reality is and how people are really getting excitation of the US dollar and all of their own whatever local currencies. I mean, Canadian dollar for myself. And so a lot of people are getting into the cryptocurrency game. Call it a game, but it's however you want to look at it. And in doing such, they are getting into the dollar, adding more participation, thus more buyers into the market at this time, and, well, self-fulfilling prophecy maybe. Now, as this goes in here, we've had just a beautiful up run, but I want to focus on how the markets have handled below the 18 average of lows, and when it does go below the 18 lows, how it's able to recover there after that. And we could do it pretty much from these $10,000 lows. I mean, it really didn't have any time down in here. It tested it, it most certainly didn't hold and stay below it those days. So it really didn't have any, and even here, it didn't have much action below it until it got to 30,000. And a few attempts to sell the market down, but that didn't happen. Comes up to the 18 highs, settles, and you can see in here the strength above the highs. Beautiful move. A little bit of action below here, and then neutrality for a while, and there's your excitation amongst here. Not much of a game, but a little bit of one. And overall done a lot of sideways action. A little bit of move below here, but still above this level of highs, and then here, but not able to really have any type of breakout. Small one here. It's a failed breakout. And you kind of had a small, like small as it's going to be for a fast move lower. But in doing such, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full days where price stayed completely below the 18 average of lows in a span of 9 days, because this is day number 1 and this would be day number 9. And then 6 of these 7 days being down, all below the 18 lows. Breaking below this support, not making it to this one. It has been incredible how it has corrected within the 18 thus far. Again, it hasn't been able to get above, and it's been so far has resisted the 61.8. But 3 days and going sideways, where on day number 2 it makes it to the highs, day number 3 it makes it to the lows. So you have a nice move to a good key spot. You just don't resist at the highs, or the lows rather. And then if you want to do technical, if you want to go prototype, typically amazing by the book, why not support the 18 lows and do it the next day? And then the next day break it, which is exactly what happened. And then just for fun, a whole day is what happened the day after that, which was Saturday. And then we have in here, so far holding in there. Okay. To me, we're establishing shorter term resistance, and we're doing so with that key fib level. So if it starts to break out above this is just an easy way of stating Bitcoin's got to get above 60 for me to have any type of bullish sentiment. Okay, this thing's going to get going soon. It's already had a decent sized rally from the lows. That if I see weakness amongst this area here, if you see breakdown signals near 52,000 and lower, then it's time to be very cautious and concerned maybe that we might be seeing prices not only go below 50, but even below 40. And even nicely below 40, maybe like 33, 32. But until that happens, it's attempting at this time to break it. All right then. So let's finish this off within diversification and such, because one, if you ever to get into cryptocurrencies and things like that, precious metals, whatever it is, bankroll management I think is very important, and knowing based on what you have available, how much do you really want to bet and put in. It's getting to the stage where it's tougher to think that cryptos are as great of a play entry wise now. You're just getting a little bit of a higher price, but I still think it's a good play in the sense of, well, Bitcoin will probably at least double, and some of these altcoins can go up fantastic. And I think and hope what can happen is Bitcoin can double to 3 or 4x, while other coins will crush that number. So in that type of talk, how much you put in, just remember, if you can make monstrous gains, if 10%, 15% of your portfolio is something you can laugh off or candle if it loses, and that's just a decent, and then you multiply what that number is by like 7, 10, 15, those are potential gains that could come into play. So that can really help, because cryptos can have monster moves. That can help you decide, okay, maybe it could work out that I put it, and then maybe if Bitcoin goes down to this or whatever, or other coins have these big moves down, I'll be able to put more in and so on and so forth. Because, well, that's just as it is. Now, whatever happens if you get to a situation where you bought into cryptos and it goes up so big and now it's just a monster amount of your portfolio because what the market did, even if you had a whole small amount of your portfolio to begin with, well, then it becomes diversification time. And when markets are in uptrends like they are, then maybe it might be best to, like, okay, I got like maybe 60, 70, 80, 90% of my net worth in cryptos. After at one point it was like 10 or 20, whatever. There's other things that can be bought. And gold and silver, of course, definitely one of my favorites. I've had a good amount of accumulation over the last 3/4 year, 8 months or so. But I've also been accumulating into that of sports cards, particularly hockey. And so far, and this is not updated, I got 33 boxes that I bought, and I think there's like 24 or so, or 26 that I've written in here. Majorly set for Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. For if you open up these, and I bought two more, I think I got 5 of these now from 2016-17. I did buy two more, so I have 5. That's where you can get Austin Matthews' rookie card. And here is Connor McDavid's rookie card. I think I bought another one. I think I have 3 of those now. And a whole bunch of other ones. A lot of them have like pictures of like Leafs on it, like more Austin Matthews and on the box itself. And right now, sport cards are in a tremendous bull market. It's interesting listening to people amongst their community talking about the prices, and even the video game too, because I've been following that a lot too. So hearing people like Pat Contry from the CU podcast is one example. I just listening to them talk about the cost without that, knowing that they have no idea what a fiat currency is, knowing that they have no idea what Gresham law is, and the fact that there, to me, I believe, is a significant amount of people who are doing the combination of really getting out of the dollar as well as hedging crypto profits to get miscellaneous stuff. And Pokemon seems to be really, really big. And I've been thinking maybe I should really get into some of this and here and there. It just seems that is a major crowd favorite. I can see price increases reflecting such as well. And I was even thinking like a couple years ago, and I wish I would have got it then. I wanted to wait. I thought it was a better time to wait. I was wrong. Where I wanted to buy the junk box packs. And I mean, I know it's like buying copper pennies and to a degree almost, but just because you buy so cheap and you have so much space. But buying like boxes of cards for like $4, $5, $6 a box. Now those boxes are going for like 30 or 20, 30, 40. These are the worst ones out there. I'm not buying any of them. Not at that price, $30. $40 for like a 1991 box of cards of like and the thing is, yeah, I got like probably like several hundreds of cards, and pretty much all of them are going to be like useless cards where you can't even really sell them. So hard to sell. However, some of them will be pretty good. So you open up a pack of like, say with Austin Matthews rookie. If you get it perfect, you open it up. Maybe it's worth several thousands of dollars, and it's a $5,000 card. That card could go for like 10, 20, 30,000 within the year. I think I'd want to be a little bit of a seller at that point if it gets to those kinds of levels. But I do believe we're in a Gresham's law phase, and this amount of people participating in this is only going to skyrocket moving forward. Of getting out of again the dollar and diversificating from crypto. So, thank you for tuning in and have your. And by the way, this will be the. I'll be getting a new. Hopefully, it's a good one. I'm getting a new microphone delivered tomorrow, so hopefully, it'll be really good, and I can put this one back in the backup pile for when. Well, I'm using it now as a backup purpose. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Bye bye.